What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our Week 9 battle for the NCP. Today we are playing against the Portage Herdiers and their coach, Kurt. Unfortunately, I am playing this game after my week, this is week 10, right? I said week 10. I'm playing this after my week 11 game against Seabad, and I obviously know the result of that game, but at the current moment we are 6 wins and 3 losses. We have a chance to guarantee our spot into playoffs tonight. With the 7 wins, we should be completely locked in. If we go with the rest of the season 6-6, which means we lose this week, next week against Chase, and the final week against Zombie, which is definitely a possibility. All 3 of these players are really solid, and they know what they're doing. Zombie's first place. Chase is a really scary team, and of course this team, you guys can see already, is pretty damn terrifying. We definitely have a shot at losing these weeks, and that would suck. We then would kind of have to be hoping that our differential is good enough, because I believe only maybe 1 or 2 teams that are 6-6 will actually make it into the playoffs, which is scary. But hopefully we can get the job done. You see the teams here, you see the matchups. You guys can probably see that I believe I have a solid option for the win here, because his 2 biggest threats being the KELDEO and the Dracozolt, I have immunities to each of their stabs actually all of their stabs, yeah. I have a water immunity, a fighting immunity, a electric immunity, and a dragon immunity. Awesome. So that ends up working out pretty damn well. But at the end of the day, he does still a very scary team. He's got web support with Orbeetle. He's got a Shell Smashing Blastoise. Surfetch is an absolute monster. Galarian Stunfisk, I do remember, this thing does not get good steel coverage. It's like Metal Claw on the physical side. After that's like Steel Beam or something. So it really doesn't get too much in terms of physical coverage. Sneasel is a problem. Garbodor can set up Toxic Spikes, which could be useful because Vileplume doesn't have the greatest matchup in the world in this game. Yes, it resists, 3 of the 4 stabs of my opponent's top 2 Pokemon there, but it doesn't really help us with too much else. But that's enough. Let's just go ahead and jump into the team builder. Unfortunately for me, I forgot to create the slides that I usually do, and unfortunately I'm just not going to be doing that. I thought I had done it. I guess I might have deleted the slides, which really sucks, because that means they're not going to be in the video. And I do want to say, I'm sorry that this video is coming up late. We are actually playing this on, it is Sunday the 24th of May, which means the game was supposed to go up yesterday. Which means usually we're supposed to get our games in, a week beforehand they go up, and what can I say? We just, we missed the first little bit. The first week I was really busy with work, couldn't get it done during the weekdays, and then I was hoping the weekend could work. He wasn't available on the weekend, and then throughout this week he's been getting his room redone, and his computer was taken apart for that, so he couldn't play. And another thing I'm sorry for, it is going to be on Showdown as well. Kurt is having all of his games on Showdown, so because of that, we just kind of have to deal with it this way. Yeah, but anyways, let's just go ahead and jump into it. I am not going to be having slides like I had said, but I will do my best to explain. So the first mod that we are bringing today is going to be our CLEFABLE here. CLEFABLE is running Moonblast, Psychic, Calm Mind, and Moonlight. It's running the Unaware Nature, so it's pretty damn bulky, this set. The spread has 244 in HP, 84 in defense, 20 in special attack, 108 in special defense, 52 in speed with a calm nature. So it's very specially defensive compared to its physical defense. We have special defense, though we're never 2 KO'd by Blastoise, or no boosted KELDEO's Hydro Pump, or Life Orb Surf after leftovers. We're 3 KO'd by Jolly Life Orb Icicle Crash, from Sneasel, and we have speed for Modest Blastoise or Admin Dracozolt after Webs. The rest was put into my special attack. Our next mon is going to be our Vikavolt here with the Throat Spray. We're running Thunderbolt, Bug Buzz, Sticky Web, and Agility. This set with an Agility up does absolute work to my opponent's team. Only thing is, I would love to have Roost on it, but Sticky Webs are very important because the KELDEO is fast, the Dracozolt is also pretty fast. Well, it's got 78 speed, I think 75 speed maybe, but it's still hitting very hard with, what is that attack? Bolt Beak, I think is that it? So yeah, we gotta be careful with that. But this thing with the Throat Spray just runs through my opponent's team. We have 4 in HP, 76 in defense, 220 in special attack, 4 in special defense, and then 204 in speed with a modest nature. This set has speed for KELDEO, while we're at +2. We have bulk for Life Orb, Adamant, Bolt Beak, and Webs are there as a backup. And again, Throat Spray is there to boost our special attack. You look at the team that my opponent has. Thunderbolt hits the KELDEO, the Surfetch, the Garbodor, the Colossal, the Blastoise, and Bug Buzz is everything else. The only thing it really doesn't hit well is the Stunfisk this coverage, but at the end of the day, what is Stunfisk really going to do back to us? And it's still not taking, and I'm enjoying to take at least a +1 boosted Bug Buzz from a with 145 base special attack. So we should be able to get the job done with this set, especially late game. Our next mon is going to be our Ditto here. Ditto is important in this game, even though it's basically just Scarf with Transform. The EVs aren't really important, it's just max HP, excuse me. That way we can live as many hits as possible because HP is the only stat that Ditto does not copy off the opponent. So we have that. This is important because we would then be able to have a Pokemon that 4 times resists the Dracozold's Bolt Beak if it were to go for that. He doesn't even appreciate his own Bolt Beak. He doesn't even appreciate his own Keldeo. So we gotta be very careful with that. And at the end of the day, if we manage to copy a Shell Smash Blastoise, it could just be gain for him. This is another way around the setup options that my opponent has with Combine Keldeo, Swords Dance, or Bulk Up on the Surfetch. The Orbeetle with a Store Power set potentially could be terrifying if it's running like Combine, Iron Defense, and Roost or Recover, I think it gets, and the Blastoise, like I said before. Mon number 4 is our Como here. Como is running the Yachi Berry, which is there for the Sneasel's Ice Shard. It's there for the Keldeo's Icy Wind, and there for the Blastoise's Ice Beam. We have Drain Punch, Dragon Claw, Fire Punch, and Dragon Dance. Last time I ran a Dragon Dance set, it put in so much work, and I'm hoping that we can do it again. This set has 20 in its HP, 252 attack, 28 defense, 4 in special defense, and 204 speed with a jolly nature. The Como has speed for Blastoise, bulk for a timid Life Orb Ice Beam from Keldeo. I think I should say Icy Wind. Maybe it's Ice Beam and I just miscalculated, or maybe I misrolled something. Could be. Anyways, we take a Jolly Bandit Surfetch's Close Combat, and we have Yachi Berry to protect from a +2 Blastoise's Ice Beam or the Sneasel's Ice Shard. And again, this coverage, Dragon, Fighting, and Fire is fantastic. We have Dragon for the Keldeo and the, well, basically the first 4 Mons. First 3 Mons. We have Fire Punch there for the Orbeetle, Dragon for the Garbodor, Fighting for the next 2 being the Sneasel and the Colossal, Fire Punch for the next 2 there being the Shiinotic and the Stunfisk, and then we have Dragon Claw for the Blastoise. And again, +1 is really what we need. That's the big thing. If we can get to +1 while my opponent's team is chipped down, oh boy, it is going to be a problem for them to deal with it. We then have our Lantern here. Lantern is running the Assault Vest this week with Volt Switch, Dazzling Gleam, Scald, and Discharge. I have a very interesting EV spread this week with 20 in HP, 228 in defense, 100 in special attack, 148 special defense, and 12 in speed with a Calm Nature. Again, I said Assault Vest, this is going to be our special wall for the Keldeo, except I'm running Volt Absorb. Volt Absorb I think is more important this week than the Keldeo's Water Absorb because, my god, Bolt Beak is terrifying. It's such a strong attack, and I really want to be careful around it because, my god, it's just going to be able to destroy my entire team if I ran Water Absorb Lantern. Think of it this way, if we ran Water Absorb, we are still hit neutrally by Bolt Beak, but if we run Volt Absorb, we're resisting the Hydro Pump or the Surf or whatever the case may be from the Keldeo. So hopefully we can get that done. We do also have a resistant Como, and we also have our Clefable, which can take pretty much any hit from the Keldeo as well. This set has bulk for Outrage from Adamant Dracozold or a Life Orb Dragon Claw. We have we also take a Timid Secret Sword, and we're not too killed by Life Orb Focus Blast from Keldeo. The remaining 112 EVs I had was just dumped into my attack, my special attack, and my speed. Speed is just 12 EVs there for Scarfers. Didn't really feel the need to run much speed, but 100 in special attack will put a lot of work because we do have Dazzling Gleam, which can hit the Dracozold and the Keldeo for super effective damage, as well as the Surfetch and the Sneasel, which is fantastic. Volt Switch for momentum, of course, Scald for getting burns, hopefully, and Discharge for paralysis. Something like the Blastoise would not appreciate a paralysis. Even the Orbeetle honestly wouldn't appreciate it, but I'd probably just go for the Volt Switch on that and go into our next mon, which is going to be our Rapidash. Rapidash is carrying the Pasho Berry with Will-O-Wisp, Play Rough, High Horsepower, and Flame Charge. Is that correct? That seems like a really weird set for me to bring. I got to build a team like 10 days ago, but still. This set is 68 in our HP, 244 attack, 44 defense, 4 in special defense, and 148 in speed with an Adamant Nature. This set has speed from Modest Orbeetle, Timid Blastoise, and lives a Secret Sword from Life Orb Timid Keldeo, and we take a Banded Jolly Knockoff from the Sneasel. I'm trying to think of what this set was for. Play Rough hits a lot of my opponent's team for great damage, and I guess we only really need the fire coverage for the Orbeetle. Yeah, because we have coverage for everything. Well, I guess the Sneasel as well, but no, Sneasel takes Play Rough. So yeah, the only thing we really need coverage for the fire moves is the Orbeetle. So if we have Will-O-Wisp for the Surfetch, the Dracozold, and the Sneasel, we should be fine with just Fairy and ground coverage. Yeah, awesome. So that is our team, guys. If you have any questions about it, obviously I'd be happy to answer them in the comments below. Again, I didn't bring the slides this time around, but I will have them up for next week. I guarantee that because I've already done the recording. So there is that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Alright everyone, welcome back. I'm kind of in a bad mood right now because I just recorded a live comment and it was OBS decided not to save it. Don't know why. I'm getting really frustrated with my OBS lately, especially when I'm doing it on my Mac, because it just completely shits on me. For some reason I can't get 1080p, and it recorded 10 minutes of the video and the battle, and that was it. And now I have to re-record it, and I have to be at work in like 7 hours. So, great. I did point out a few things before the battle started. One is that our differential is plus 12, I believe. We are 6-3 plus 12, which means that we literally have to lose pretty damn badly in the last 3 weeks to be able to be kicked out of playoffs. It's likely if we lose all three, we're going to have to play against, not likely, it's probable that we're going to be facing off against either Zombie or Josh round 1, which are the two teams that are currently 9-2, the two teams that we've been like right behind all season long. But if we lose all three of those games, then we're going to have to play against the top 2 seeds, which is not good. What are you going to do? I'm hoping that we can get the job done here, but it's going to be challenging. He's got a very scary team. He did end up bringing the Galarian Stunfisk. He had not brought it once this season, or even this past owner not brought it once this season, so there is that. But the 6 that he did bring are very scary. Biggest threats, Keldeo, Dracozolt, Surfetched, easily. So we'll just go ahead and jump into it. I was having a tough time deciding what I wanted to use in my lead. I was debating my Lantern or my Vikavolt, and honestly, I think I led with the right option. I just didn't click the right move here. So I go and I lead off with my Vikavolt here, as my opponent is actually going to lead off with the Dracozolt. Dracozolt goes, this is why I hate doing post-comms. He goes for Bolt Beak. I was calculating to see what this would do. We actually take a Adamant Life Orb Bolt Beak from a Hustle boosted Dracozolt, as long as even if he outspeeds us, which is nice. But we're going to see here, he does not do that kind of damage. He does 64% and he reveals a Life Orb, which means that we know he is Volt Absorb. So that was important. I was able to make that assumption for the rest of the game, so that was fantastic. But looking at this team, I said to myself, I want to go for Webs. I thought that was more valuable, when in reality the play here was to go for Bug Buzz, and you'll see why shortly. So I go for my Webs here, and at this point I'm going to stay in, sack off this thing as he goes for a Draco Meteor, expecting someone to switch in probably the Lantern with the Volt Absorb. He makes his special attack go down to -2, but at this point I'm still just kind of deciding, what do I go into next? I'm calculating everything. Does Clefable Oko? No. Does Clefable live a hit? Yeah, but it's not going to appreciate it at all. Ditto? Not really. What about Rapidash? Well, Ditto, the reason was no, because if Draco Meteor is his only dragon move, then we're not killing it, and he can just do tons of damage to us. Rapidash, high horsepower isn't doing enough. Bolt Beak is going to do tons of damage. Really got to be careful with that. I could have burned it, though. That was a possibility as well. There's then the Lantern with Dazzling Gleam, which I thought of. I also thought of the Como. I literally thought of everything. Como could have gone for a Dragon Dance. The only thing is, he has like, there was like I think the max roll was like 103% to my Como to kill me with a Volt Absorb Life Orb Adamant boosted Dragon Claw. If he was Outrage, then I was gone. So I couldn't risk Como. I just could not. I want to go for Dragon Claw, but even then, it wasn't even guaranteed. If he was like max HP, I didn't guarantee KO. I think the roll was like 80 to like 81 to like 95, and if he was max HP, I just couldn't do that because he would have obviously improved the roll. So I go into my Lantern instead, and I click the Dazzling Gleam thing. He might switch out. He stays in, goes for Earthquake, which I didn't even know this thing got. I just did not do my homework, and this thing is able to get off almost the full amount of HP against me, as I do a good chunk of damage to it with my Dazzling Gleam, as he then KOs us with the second Earthquake. So we are down our Lantern, which is one of our checks to water types. I bring my Como here, and I'm just going to click the Dragon Claw, and I end up getting the KO on the Dracozolt, which is nice, but it does kind of suck. In comes the Orbeetle here, and he can freely go for his Webs here as he frisks our Yachi Berry and sees it. I'm going to switch out here. I'm going to go into my Rapidash, as he actually goes for the Trick Room. So he's literally anti my team, which sucks. He goes into the Blastoise. I go for the Flame Charge. I think he might just go for a U-turn or something, or whatever the case may be. I went for Flame Charge. I should have gone for high horsepower there. That was my only play, actually. My play was to go for Play Rough. That way, in case he did stay in, I'd be fine. But he goes for Surf here. It procs our Pasho Berry. We are going to take that pretty easily, as I go for the high horsepower, and it does nothing to him. And I will now switch out, and I will go into my Clefable, which actually is going to, or my Ditto, excuse me, which is actually going to wall us in pretty well. He reveals that his moves are going to be Roar, Rapid Spin, Surf, and Icy Wind. So the fact that he doesn't have Scald means that I can't freely go for Scald on my own. I would love to go for Scald here, but I can't. Instead, I go and double into my Clefable, expecting him to go for a Rapid Spin, which he does now that Trick Room expires. And I go for a Moonblast here because I know he has Roar. So if I set up a Calm Mind and he goes for Roar, he's just going to roar me out. So Moonblast comes out, we do 28%, get a special attack drop, doesn't really matter, and he's going to roar us out, which is what I expected, and he brings us back into our Ditto. I would have loved literally anything else. I would have loved Como, but didn't end up happening. It is what it is. And at this point, I double back out into my Clefable, and he's going to switch out into his Orbeetle. At this point, I'm going to go and click Calm Mind here. Now, I know he's going to go for a Trick Room, and then going to go for a Baton Pass. I know it. I gotta be careful though, because if the Garbodor comes in, I'm screwed. But I'm thinking here, I'm gonna pause it. He doesn't, at this point, he doesn't know what my move pool is. I might have Flamethrower, I might have Psychic, I might have whatever, but he knows I have Moonblast for sure. I'm thinking here, do I go for a Calm Mind, or do I go for a Psychic here? Psychic will do tons of damage. It'll do about 50% to the Garbodor. That's what I'm expecting at least. But I end up going for a second Calm Mind here, just in case he goes into the Blastoise. My play was always to go for the Psychic here. That was a misplay on my part, and because what is the Orbeetle going to do to touch me? It's nothing. He goes for Gunk Shot, he connects, and he ends up doing 80% to us, and we do about half to it with Psychic. At this point here, I have to go and I have to switch out, and I have to go into my Ditto here. It resists the Gunk Shot, or my Rapidash, excuse me, kind of sacking it off. We live the hit, which is nice. He lands his second Gunk Shot in a row, and I will be able to go, he'll actually outspeed me here and get the KO on us with the Psychic. So he reveals 2 of his offensive moves. At this point, I kind of want to figure out what else does the thing have. So I'm going to go into my Ditto here, and I'm going to see, what does this guy have? He reveals his moveset to be, oh my god, what was the, I remember 3 of the moves. It was Protect, it was Gunk Shot, it was Psychic, and the other move was another status move. Forget what it is. Regardless, at this point, I'm going to switch out, and my thing is, I can beat this Pokemon as long as I have my Clefable, as long as, once I Clefable, let's try this again. Wow, words are so difficult at 10 o'clock. Okay, once the Garbodor is gone, Clefable just goes in, and if I Moonlight here expecting that to switch out, I'm going to go for a Psychic here, I believe, right? Or I go for a Calm, one of the two, but I forget, honestly. He goes into Garbodor, as I do predict, and go for the Psychic, which is nice, 30% down, and at this point here, he's going to get recovered with Black Sludge, and I'm going to go for another Psychic, I think, here. Or no, this is where I go back into my Ditto, actually, and this is where I take the Gunk Shot. Still, I know the information that he has, and again, I don't know what he wants to do here. He goes for Protect, as I go for a Psychic, or a Gunk Shot, one of the two, and he's back at half already. This guy with the Black Sludge is just recovering back tons of HP, and he goes into his Orbeetle here, as I will now switch out, I believe. Yep, I switch out and go into my Como, and this is nice. I'm able to get off like 30% of this thing with a Fire Punch, so I go for the Fire Punch. We do 37%, which is fantastic, as he then goes for a Trick Room, excuse me, and then will now go for a Psychic as I go for a second Fire Punch. It does over half to us, which really sucks, and I go for Dragon Claw. Actually, I thought I went for Fire Punch. Regardless, doesn't matter. I switch out and I go into my Clefable here, as you can freely Baton Pass. But he goes for Psychic instead, which makes sense. He would want to kill the Como, and at this point, I believe I'm going to go for a Calm Mind here. I think that's my play. I went for Calm Mind here, right? I went for a Calm Mind, yes. Now, I can go for two Psychics, and just do significant damage to this thing. I have to hope for a miss, though, on his part. So I go for a Psychic here. He, of course, lands his 4th Gunk Shot in a row, and poisons me, excuse me. And without my leftovers, I would be gone. So at this point here, I'm expecting him to go for a Protect. So I go for a Moonlight. Luckily, I get that play right, which is amazing. It keeps me in the game, because without Clefable, I just lose. There's no option I have. I have no shot of winning this game without Clefable. But I'm going to go for my, what is the word for it here? Psychic here, I get the KO, and down goes the Garbodor. So if I can get back a decent chunk of health, get in on the Blastoise. Blastoise still has a good chunk of HP left, and it does have Roar, which does suck. But in comes the Blastoise, and I will go for my Moonblast here, and we connect. We do 39% to him, as he will roar us out now, which is fine. We're at around 40%. We should be able to take any hit that wants to come out, unless it's from a Specs Keldeo or a Poison Jab from a Surfetch'd. But I believe we outspeed everything except for the Keldeo, so we'll see what we got. But anyways, he roars us out to the Ditto, and I go back to my Clefable here as he switches and goes into his Keldeo, which does suck, because at this point, it's going to be basically game. He's going to go for a Hydro Pump, and he misses, unfortunately for him, but I'm going to take it. Honestly, he landed 4 Gunk Shots in a row, and honestly, if he didn't land that last Gunk Shot, I would be in a really, really good position. But it is what it is. I double into my Ditto here. I'll be able to resist the Hydro Pump, and I'll be able to figure out a bit of information. He does land this one here doing 39%, and I didn't bother calculating. I thought he was Specs at first, and I go for an Air Slash. In reality, it looks like he's Assault Vest, and Secret Sword was my play. His moveset was Icy Wind, Hydro Pump, Secret Sword, and Air Slash. The reason I had gone for the Air Slash there was because, look at his team. Air Slash will KO the Blastoise is at like 28%. Air Slash will kill the Orbeetle. It's at like 30%. Air Slash will do at least 50% to the Surfetch'd and all its speed. Air Slash will do at least half to a KELDEO, which I kind of expected him to be, specs. So there's that. If I gone for a Secret Sword, because Secret Sword I believe hits my opponent on the defensive side instead of the specially defensive side, we would have done a lot more damage. And had I done that, then we'll see what happens here, because I go for a Moonblast and he lands the Hydro Pump, 46%, which is what I expected it to do, and we don't KO. If I go for Secret Sword, whichever the move is, I keep forgetting the difference between them, and I get another 11%. I get the KO on the KELDEO, and I'm at 29%. Gonna be at like what, 20? Yeah, I would have been at like 22%. Instead, he can go for a Hydro Pump again, connect. My only play there, by the way, I'm gonna pause it. My play at that point was to go for what is the word I'm looking for? Oh my god, a Moonblast. Yes, Moonblast, not go for Roost, not go for Calm Mind, Moonblast, because I outspeed, guaranteed 2 of his 3 mons, and I probably outspeed the Surfetch'd as well. And honestly, because of that, if I go for a Moonblast on the Surfetch'd and get the KO on it, then, or get even lower it down to like 40%, then Como comes in, Como wins the game for me. Fortunately, he lands the Hydro Pump. I had to bank on him missing, and he didn't miss, so down goes our CLEFABLE. He has to go for either a chance to miss with any of his moves, or he can go for the Ice Wind, which has less of a chance to miss, and it will proc our Yachi Berry, reducing our speed by 1, meaning nothing, really. It just gets a bit of damage off, and it improves the differential for us, because at this point we lost. We can't Oko the Surfetch'd, there's nothing we can do, so we'll just bring in the Surfetch'd, and he'll click Close Combat as we click Drain Punch. We get back 37%, which is nothing, and I'm positive we could have gone back that much HP from it with our, or done at least 67%, 63%, whatever, with our CLEFABLE, and been able to get the kill had we done things a different way. I didn't see my game plan, I didn't see my win con out there clearly, and it ended up costing me quite a bit. So we're going to lose this game. We're going to fall to 6 wins, 4 losses with a plus 9 differential. So we still have a chance. Again, unless we get blown out the last 2 weeks, we're probably going to make playoffs. So hopefully we can. I really don't want to come down to the last week. So hopefully we can beat Chase, and that means that we'll guarantee our spot in. And that means we should guarantee a spot like maybe 6 or higher, which would be good, because that way we don't have to play Zombie or Ultra round 1. Ultra already beat us, and Zombie we play next week, so I don't have to deal with that. But we would have a chance to play JJ, so I just want to be careful. Regardless, he had great prep. I'm really disappointed. I just didn't see my win cons clearly enough. I should have played it out a lot differently. I had a couple regrets. One, looking at this team, did I really need webs? If he was Shell Smash Blastoise, I have my Underwear CLEFABLE, I have my Ditto, not a big deal. KELDEO, what's that really going to do to me? I have my CLEFABLE, again. I have Como, which is taking any hit and firing off and getting like a ton of damage off on it. Rapidash has the Pasho Berry and can do like at least 50% with a Play Rough. I have my Lantern, which has Stab, Super Effect against it, Dazzling Gleam as well. So why did I do that? It was a bad decision, and I gotta get better at that. I gotta make sure that that does not happen again, because if I do get the playoffs, it's gonna cost me. I gotta get better with this team. Another problem, the Secret Sword. So there's 2 times right there that really cost me. Even then, going into the, I mean, honestly, I can't really say. I cannot say for certain what I should have gone into after I gone for Sticky Web and lost my Vikavolt. My play should have 100% been to Bug Buzz, and instead I ended up losing 2 of my mons, 2 very important Pokemon, because I decided to get, I guess, greedy and go for webs. My thoughts are kind of all over the place. It's late, and I gotta go to bed. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. I'm sorry it's on Showdown. You guys, actually, I think I mentioned that it was gonna be on Showdown already. But I'm sorry that it's late, and you guys should enjoy our battle next week against Chase. Like I said, it's already happened, and hopefully we can win that game, clinch playoffs, and move on from this weird season. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.